Hello everyone. So, did you understand about aerobic respiration? Are you reading the textbooks? It is very important for you to read the textbooks because you get questions from the textbook. Okay, objective type questions, different type 2 mark questions you get from anywhere from the textbook. So, it is not essential if you just go through the lectures and just do the homework. It is very important for you to read the textbook, okay, several times. And for those who do not have textbooks, they may go through the lectures again and again, okay, and read all and write all the part which I write on the board. Okay, maximum points I write on the board. Okay, now today we will move on to anaerobic respiration. Yesterday we studied about aerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration takes place in 3 steps. What are the 3 steps? Glycolysis, Krebs cycle, and electron transfer chain. How many ATP molecules are produced? 38 molecules of ATP are produced. Okay, now we may move on to anaerobic respiration. Before going into anaerobic respiration, we may see the two charts which are given on page number 15. You may see these are the 2 charts. Those who don't have the textbook may just copy it. Okay, take a screenshot and copy it. Okay, now this is in the textbook. They have given this chart of aerobic respiration and this chart is of anaerobic respiration. In this chart they have shown, this we had drawn in the last lecture, carbohydrates enters into glycolysis pathway to form pyruvic acid. Pyruvic acid gets converted into acetyl-CoA. Acetyl-CoA enters into Krebs cycle. From Krebs cycle we get CO2, H2O and energy. If we do not have enough amount of carbohydrate, then lipids are getting converted into fatty acids. Proteins are getting converted into amino acids. They get converted into acetyl-CoA. Okay, they get converted into acetyl-CoA and then enter into the Krebs cycle and CO2, H2O and energy is produced. This step is skipped. Okay. Now, in case of anaerobic respiration, you may see glucose undergo the step glycolysis to produce pyruvic acid, pyruvic acid, pyruvic acid. There are 3 pathways given of 3 different types of products which are produced. In case of anaerobic respiration, it is not only CO2, H2O energy which is produced. Different types of anaerobic respiration are there. We are having only a just small topic of anaerobic respiration. So in anaerobic respiration, different products are produced. Okay, in our textbook they have given 3 products. What are they? First we will take this one, that is glucose to glycolysis. It gets converted into pyruvic acid. Pyruvic acid undergo the process called as fermentation. You are familiar with the term fermentation. It is a chemical reaction which is taking place in absence of oxygen. By fermentation it is getting converted into alcohol. And where can we see this type of reactions? This type of reaction is seen in yeast. Okay, it is seen in yeast. So this is the first one, glucose getting converted into pyruvic acid through the process of glycolysis. Pyruvic acid undergoing fermentation to form alcohol. It occurs in yeast. During this, how many ATP are produced? There are about only 2 ATP produced. You may see in aerobic respiration how many ATP was produced? 38 molecules of ATP were produced. In case of this anaerobic respiration, only 2 molecules of ATP is produced. In this type of anaerobic respiration, glucose is getting converted into pyruvic acid by the process of glycolysis. It undergo fermentation, that is a reaction in absence of oxygen to form different products like vinegar, vitamins, etc. Okay, we make use of these reactions for industrial production of alcohol, for industrial production of vinegar, etc. Okay, so in these reactions vinegar, vitamins are formed and these are carried out by various types of microbes. In the third type, It is glucose to pyruvic acid by the process of glycolysis. It undergo fermentation, that is the process of reaction in which take place in absence of oxygen to form lactic acid. This type of reaction take place in erythrocytes and muscle cells. Erythrocytes means RBCs which are present in our blood. Okay, erythrocyte means RBCs which are present in our blood. In our blood there are RBCs. What is the function of RBC? It is carrying oxygen, but RBC on its own, it carries anaerobic respiration. Otherwise it could have made use of all the oxygen which it carried. Okay, so who in blood carries oxygen? It is RBC who carries oxygen, but RBC on their own, they carry out anaerobic respiration. So these are the three types of anaerobic respiration. I repeat, glucose getting converted into pyruvic acid, undergoing fermentation to form alcohol. This is done by yeast. Glucose to glycolysis, undergoing glucose through glycolysis forming pyruvic acid, undergoing fermentation to produce different types of products like vinegar, vitamins, etc. These reactions are carried out by various types of microbes. Glucose to pyruvic acid by the process of glycolysis, it is undergoing fermentation to produce lactic acid. Such reactions are taking place in erythrocytes, muscle cells, etc. These also take place, through these reactions also 2 ATP are produced. So compared to aerobic respiration, anaerobic respiration produces only lesser amount of energy. Now there is a paragraph below. In this paragraph, glycolysis or fermentation are the two steps of anaerobic respiration. Glucose is incompletely oxidized and less amount of energy is released. From here, pyruvic acid produced through glycolysis is converted into organic acids or alcohol with the help of some enzymes in this process. This is called as fermentation. This question you could get what is meant by fermentation. Okay, so what is happening during fermentation? The pyruvic acid which is formed during glycolysis is broken down into different chemicals. During that process, different amount of carbon dioxide is given out, and such reactions which take place in absence of oxygen is called as fermentation. Okay, so I repeat, glycolysis and fermentation are the two steps of in anaerobic respiration. Glucose is incompletely oxidized and less amount of energy is obtained in this type of respiration. Pyruvic acid produced through glycolysis is converted into other organic acids or alcohol with the help of some enzymes in this process. This is called as fermentation. Okay, now most of the animals and most of the plants carry out aerobic respiration. In the last lecture I had told you we are organisms which carry out aerobic respiration. Okay, we carry out aerobic respiration, but there are some animals, there are some microorganisms which carry out anaerobic respiration, especially in our cells, in our muscle cells. When we do enough amount of muscle work, that is physical activity like exercise, then what happens? The blood flow is not that enough, that the cells do not get enough amount of oxygen. Okay, so I repeat, during an exercise our cells do not get enough amount of oxygen. When there is no enough amount of oxygen, the cell undergo anaerobic respiration and produce lactic acid. I repeat, when we do exercise, the amount of oxygen which is reaching the cells is less. So what happens? The glucose inside the cell, it enters into this pathway. That means it gets converted into pyruvic acid. It undergo fermentation to produce lactic acid. Understood? And two ATP molecules. So while doing exercise we feel tired because lesser amount of ATP molecule is produced, and after that when we take rest, that lactic acid again get converted into again enters into another cycle and produce enough amount of ATP. That is not there in our syllabus. In the last paragraph here, they have given about muscle cells. That point is very, very important. Okay, it is there in the textbook. You may refer to the textbook for that paragraph. In that paragraph, you are having what is fermentation, what are the 2 steps of anaerobic respiration, and what happens in muscle cells while we are doing an exercise. Okay, now we may move on to the next question, that is distinguish between aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. So we have studied aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. So in aerobic respiration take place in presence of oxygen. Anaerobic respiration takes place in absence of oxygen. There are 3 steps: glycolysis, TCA cycle, and electron transfer chain. In case of anaerobic respiration, there are 2 steps: glycolysis and fermentation. End products are CO2, H2O, and energy. In this case, the end products are organic acids and energy. More amount of energy is released, less amount of energy is released. Complete oxidation of glucose takes place in aerobic respiration. Incomplete oxidation of glucose takes place in anaerobic respiration. This takes place in higher plants, animals, and certain aerobic microbes, and it takes place in yeast, muscle cells, erythrocytes, and some anaerobic microbes. This question, that is distinguish between aerobic and anaerobic respiration, is a very important question. Okay, now we may move on to the next topic. Before that, you may copy this. This is there in the notes. I will give you the question as a homework, but you may copy the answer from the notes. Okay. Okay, then now the next part, page number 16. Can you tell question? Which type of cellular respiration performs complete oxidation of glucose? So in which type of reaction, which type of respiration complete oxidation of glucose take place? It takes place in aerobic respiration. Answer is aerobic respiration. Which cell organelle is necessary for complete oxidation of glucose? It is mitochondria. These questions were asked for 2 marks, these 2 questions. Okay, so you may write the answer. The first answer is aerobic respiration and second answer is mitochondria. Now the next topic is energy from different food components. So there are different food components. In the first lecture we had studied about different nutrients. Do you remember about carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals, and water? Okay, now we will see about proteins. We have studied about carbohydrates. Carbohydrates enter into either aerobic respiration or anaerobic respiration. Okay, so proteins, excess, okay, this point you have to underline in your textbook. That is why I have written here, so that I won't forget. So excess of carbohydrates are stored in liver and muscles in the form of glycogen. This is a fill in the blank question. So excess of carbohydrates are stored where? In the liver, in the form of what? In the form of glycogen. Now we get 4 kilocalories of energy from per gram of proteins. Okay, so from 1 gram we get 4 kilocalories. What about carbohydrates? We get 4 kilocalories. We digest proteins into amino acids which are absorbed and transported by the blood. From these, body produces its own proteins. This we had studied in the first chapter about protein synthesis. The body produces its own proteins. I had told you then also, for example, insulin. We don't get insulin from the food we eat. Insulin has to be produced in our body. Growth hormone has to be produced in the body. Okay, so for that production it needs amino acids. From where do those amino acids come from? It comes from the proteins we eat. So whatever proteins we eat are broken down into amino acids, and those amino acids are used for the production of proteins which are useful to us. Okay. Now there is a chart on page number 16, a circular one with several circles. This chart is very, very important. You get correlation questions or match the following questions from that part. Okay, so I will read out. In case of skin, what are the proteins? Melanin and keratin. In case of bones, what are the proteins? It is osine. In case of cells, various proteins of cell membrane, various enzymes. In case of pancreas, insulin or trypsin. Pituitary glands, various hormones. Muscles, actin and myosin for flexible proteins. Blood, hemoglobin and antibodies. Now here I have given you a question. You have to prepare a table showing organs and proteins. Now what you have to do, you have to prepare a table. On one side you have to write organs and other side you have to write proteins. Okay, for example, the first one will be skin. You have to write melanin and keratin. Okay, like that you have to write. Okay, for those who do not have the textbook, they may take a screenshot of this and write it accordingly. Okay, now this is the chart. This chart is very important. Okay, now the next is lipids. Lipids are formed by bonds between fatty acids and alcohol. Fatty acids are absorbed and used for production of. Now this point, this much point, there are 3 points, 4 points I have given. These 4 points are very important. You get a short note on lipids. So lipids are formed by bonds between fatty acids and alcohol. Fatty acids are absorbed and used for the production of phospholipids, which are used in production of plasma membrane or cell membrane of a cell. Hormones, progesterone, estrogen, testosterone, aldosterone. These are the hormones which are present in human body. Okay. Covering of axons of nerve cells. Last year you had studied about nerve cells. So the covering of nerve cells are produced by fats, okay, or lipids. For that you need to eat lipids. We get 9 kilocalorie per gram of energy from lipids, and excess of lipids are stored in adipose tissue. So what are lipids? Lipids are formed of fatty acids and alcohol. Basically in common language it is said to be fats. Okay, so this is about lipids. These points are important. Phospholipids are helpful in the production of plasma membrane. What are the different hormones produced with the help of lipids? It is progesterone, estrogen, testosterone, aldosterone. Okay, and it covering of axons. Also lipids are helpful. This is about lipids. Now on page number 16 there is a box. Always remember box. There is a process known as gluconeogenesis. Okay, now what are gluconeogenesis? Now conversion of proteins to glucose, it is called as gluconeogenesis. I repeat, conversion of proteins to glucose, it is called as gluconeogenesis. It is a series of reactions just like glycolysis, okay, but it is not there in our syllabus, but that could be asked as a fill in the blank question. Here they have given what is gluconeogenesis. I will read it out. If necessary, excess of proteins are converted into other useful substances like glucose through the process of gluconeogenesis. Okay, one more point is there. An enzyme Rubisco present in plant chloroplast is the most abundant protein found in nature. It is an objective question. It is Rubisco, the most abundant protein. It is Rubisco. Okay, Rubisco. There is a full form for this. The full form we don't have that. We just have the name Rubisco. Understood? Okay, so this is about that box. So we have finished with page number 16. We may move on to page number 17. There is information about vitamins, minerals and fibers and water. Here there are 2 questions. Many times you cannot eat hot food due to inflammation of ulceration in mouth. You all might have got ulceration in mouth. It is due to deficiency of vitamin B12. If you take vitamin B12 tablets, it might disappear. Some persons experience difficulty in night vision. This also you might have learned earlier. It is due to deficiency of vitamin A. So what are vitamins? Vitamins are heterogeneous compounds essential for proper operation and various processes. Okay, proper functioning of the body. So for proper functioning and protection of the body, we need vitamins. Vitamins are mainly of 6 types. What are they? A, B, C, D, E and K. These are the 6 different types of vitamins. Okay, this can be classified into 2: water soluble and fat soluble. The water soluble are B and C, and fat soluble are A, D, E and K. This you have to remember. Water soluble is B and C, and fat soluble is A, D, E and K. Okay, so this is about vitamins. This question, this part is a very important part. It could be asked as a fill in the blank, correlation, etc. So riboflavin, it is the name of a vitamin. Which vitamin? It is vitamin B2. It is helpful in the production of FADH2. What is FADH2? FADH2 is flavin adenine dinucleotide. Okay, we had studied in the last lecture. These are the energy molecules which are formed during the reactions. Understood? And for the formation of those reactions, what do you require? You require riboflavin, that is vitamin B2. So riboflavin, vitamin B2 for FADH2, and nicotinamide, vitamin B5 for NADH2. I repeat, riboflavin, vitamin B2 for FADH2, and nicotinamide, vitamin B5 for NADH2. Okay, this could be asked. So this much about vitamins. Now in the next paragraph, use your brain power. Many times we experience dryness in mouth. Okay, that is why because we are feeling thirsty. Why do we feel thirsty? So that our body level, okay, water level in the body has to be maintained. So to maintain the water level in the body, we need to take water, we need to drink water. So to maintain that level, we feel thirsty. Oral rehydration solution is frequently given to persons experiencing loose motions. That is to maintain the water and salt level in the body. We sweat during summer and heavy exercise. Why? Because when we exercise, our body gets heated up and we lose water in the form of sweat. Okay, so why do we lose water in the form of sweat? That is actually to maintain the body temperature. The answers for all these questions are there in the notes. You may check. Okay, now in the next paragraph they have given about water. There is about 65 to 70% water in our body. Okay, so about 70% of our body is water, and blood also contains water, plasma contains water, lymph contains water. So the water content in the body is very, very high, and we need water very much. Now the next is about fibers. Okay, so fibers, you might have heard about fibers nowadays. It is very important for the movement of the undigested food through the intestine. The food which we have eaten, it is digested in the stomach, it is digested in the intestine. The undigested and the wastage, whatever wastage is there, it has to move through the intestine. For the movement of that food through the intestine, you need to eat fibers. That helps in egestion, that is removal of waste material from the body. Understood? So fibers are very important for the movement of wastage food from the body. So that is about the different nutrients. Now here on page number 17, there are two questions. Question number 2 and 3, I have given it as homework. The answers I have written. What are coenzymes? Okay, second question, first and last question they generally don't ask, but the answers are there in the notes. What are coenzymes? Coenzymes are non-protein compounds that bind with enzymes to catalyze reactions. So they are different types of non-protein compounds which bind with enzymes. What are enzymes? Enzymes, we can tell it as juices. Okay, we can call it as digestive juices which helps the reaction to take place. Just like you have heard about catalyst. What are catalysts? Catalysts are substances which help the reaction to speed up. isn't it? So similarly, these are coenzymes. These are non-protein compounds that bind with enzymes to catalyze, to speed up the reactions. Now they have asked the full form of some some points. FAD, it is flavin adenine dinucleotide. FMN, flavin mononucleotide. NAD, nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. NADP, nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate. You may write these full forms. Generally they are not asked, but they could ask these questions. Okay, and the homework for today is draw chart of aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Chart means which chart? It is the chart which is there on page number 15. These are the two charts. This chart is of aerobic respiration. This chart is of anaerobic respiration. They could either ask you the charts or they will give you blank boxes just like this. Okay, they will give you blank boxes and they will tell you to fill up the boxes. Otherwise they will give you a wrong chart and they will ask you to correct the chart. So for that you have to learn the chart. Okay, the next question is distinguish between aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. It is there in the notes. Okay, otherwise you can write the sentences which I had written on the board, but in the form of sentences. Okay, now prepare a table showing organs and proteins on page number 16. It is there. You have to write the organs on one side and the proteins on the other side. This chart is very important. You have to learn it. And the last one is page number 17, question 2 and 3. These questions, what are coenzymes, and to write the full forms. Okay, so this is the first part of the chapter. The chapter is divided into two parts basically. One is respiration, that is aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration, and the second part is cell division. Okay, so the cell division part is remaining. The first two part we have finished. Now you may go through the textbook thoroughly, underline the important points, or if you don't have the textbook, write all these points in your notebook. Whenever you get the textbook, you may read and underline those points. Okay, so we will see in the next lecture. Thank you.